Okay guys, this is another battle with me in my A20 going up against tier tons. It'll probably never happen again. And our Artie just hit that IS-7 for about almost 900 damage. And the Bat Chat just killed the IS-7. I was platoon in this battle with DMD and Kopik, and I've looked at the earlier part of this fight, and they did not play very well. I think if they were to play this game more than 3 years later, they'd do a better job. There's no doubt about that. Now we are in the difficult scenario of assaulting at Siegfried Line, and one time, a long time ago, we had one of the best players in World of Tanks come join us for Tank Companies, and people were whining about assaulting at Siegfried Line, and he said that just calm down, that even his own top clan had trouble beating weak teams here if they had to assault this awesome defensive position. Now in the distance there you can see Red Patch in his E100 and the King JD in his IS4, and I believe the Bat here just unloaded 2 rounds into the IS4 driven by King JD. Now in this battle the King got, I think, about 5,000 damage, and Red Patch got about 6,000 damage or more. And I'm waiting here for the Bat to reload, and I'm going to join him in the fight. Okay, here we go. I think my shell misses there at point blank range. Embarrassing. And I'm firing only gold rounds. I would always have 37 AP and 37 gold rounds in my A20. Now, in the distance, the Foch has just fired his 3rd shot at the IS-7 and finished him off. In those days, that tank was incredibly dangerous. Now, if I hit this guy, I'm dead. Now, start pumping gold rounds into him. And this is where you have to do the old backwards while turning routine. The Bat Chat just killed the IS-8, and he's there. His final round just went into the Foch, and I'm continuing to turn while driving backwards with a very tiny margin of superiority here. But now I'm home free. Set him on fire. And altogether, I fired 16 gold rounds into this guy, and I'm a little mad that these are bouncing. I guess if the angle is even slightly off, they're going to bounce. And there's one more, and I think this is a bounce. Bounce, really. So there's shell number 16. And this video is entitled The Worst Kill Steal in the History of World of Tanks. And the reason for that is this fellow over here, Twisted_KNT. Now, he played so many games that, he must have been seen by a lot of people. I was aware of his existence, and I think I'd even looked up his record one time. And even later, I think he... When last heard of, he changed his name a few months ago, and unfortunately, I never did contact him and did make the video in time for him to witness it. I would love for him to watch this so I could rub his nose in it. So he fired his final round into the IS-8 into the backside of the Foch 40 seconds ago. And if you have a Bat Chat, depending on your skills and such like, your reload time is about 40 seconds. Now, this guy is incredibly average. His win rate is only slightly above the average, and I think he played like 50,000 games or more in the Bat Chat. Incredibly, obviously a dedicated player, but not improving much over time. Now, kill steals. In my opinion, everybody's entitled to their own damage. Now, if nothing else was going on in this fight, and he had just reloaded, as far as I'm concerned, he can shoot his shell and finish off this Foch. That doesn't bother me. But what does bother me about this very average player who showed no signs of improvement in the entire time I was aware of his existence is that, like many players with a magazine and a scout tank, they disengage completely from the fight while they're reloading, and I think that's completely wrong. When I'm in my 1390 and I'm reloading, I'm still driving like crazy and scouting and lighting people up and making them worried. Now, we've got an E100 that needs help, and the entire time that he was reloading, he was just sitting there watching this spectacle. Now, I'll admit that watching an A20 put 16 gold rounds, although he doesn't know they're gold rounds, into a Foch 155, perhaps the most OP tank at tier 10 that ever was before it was nerfed. I understand that's an absorbing spectacle and something you don't see every day. Nevertheless, he could have raced to the assistance of that E100, gotten behind where King JD and Red Patch are, and threatened them, get them worrying about whether or not he's about to fire or when's he going to be reloaded. It's hard to keep track of everything going on in a fight, and I suspect that IS-8 didn't say to King JD and Red Patch, although we might have. I tell people stuff like that in a battle. He might have said, "Oh, the bat is reloading. It was about 40 seconds ago." So, that sort of thing does go on, not very often. So, like I said, Twisted_KNT over there is about to put his final round into the Foch, in a very selfish and stupid exhibition of gameplay that, while I'm not going to claim that it cost us the game, if he had acted to assist the E100 and possibly, get some lucky shots on the King JD and Red Patch, you never know what's going to happen, even against skilled players. It's possible we might have turned this thing around. But that didn't happen, and I'm going to hit the spacebar and hope that my FPS does not collapse. With these old replays, when you hit the spacebar and talk, sometimes you lose your FPS, so I'll just hope it doesn't surge too much. And so I'm going to hit the spacebar, and yeah, it's dropping, sadly, badly. I'm not going to stop it, though. Now, what's funny about this is he also fired the first round in his clip, so he only has, depending on the gun, I'm presuming he's using the 5-round magazine. There goes our E100, right, who could have used his help. And so he's only got 5 rounds left, and he gave the enemy a free pass there, and he just got hit. So, what more can I say? This ended in a failure to take the position and eliminate the enemy in the 10-minute time span allocated to an assault. And, I would love to, if they would restore the Tier 8 matchmaking of the A20 and put the ground resistance back to what it was before 9.1. I'd be real happy. I loved going up against higher tiers in this. I fired my gun because I'm mad. No doubt about it. And DMD and Kopik, started ragging on this guy because we all, it all occurred to us that he had done that dumb move and that selfish and stupid play that I'm talking about. And, all you guys with autoloaders in fast tanks, continue to do the other components of your job description while you're reloading, consistent with safety. That's all I ask. So I'm going to, actually, I think I should show the end of this because King JD took a shot at me. There, Twisted_KNT is out of the game. Actually, I can do a little, little scouting tip here about contour following. So there's the IS-4 trying to get me. So obviously, what you do is you follow the contour and try to seek a line that will offer you some protection, which I just did. And it's game over. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We failed to beat them.